There was once a flock of chickens that lived in a chicken coop, which was normal. This chicken coop was nestled into a tiny hidden valley where llamas promped and goats bleated and horses galloped in pastures. Now, the chickens had a very important job to do. They were expected to eat burdensome bugs, which was normal. And lay eggs, which was also normal. Now, there was one young bird that didn't much like being normal. Napoleon didn't like scratching and pecking. Well, one night, when the sun began to slip behind the horizon and the moon came out to shine, Napoleon noticed that when all the chickens went to sleep, there was this magnificent bird that flew majestically into the treetops. Instead of sleeping like the rest of the birds whose dreams were even normal, this grand old bird stood surveying the land. Beginning the very next day when the chickens got up, Napoleon continued to watch this grand old bird. His colors were so brilliant. Black, blue, purple, and flints of gold lined his magnificent tail. And sometimes he would fan his tail high into the sky, making an arch above his head and stand proudly. More than anything, Napoleon wanted to be just like that bird. Of course, the other chickens thought Napoleon was just crazy. They tried harder than ever to make him act normal. They even made fun of his dark and drab colors when theirs were so bright and white. Other times forcing him to practice his scratching and his pecking. One day, Napoleon asked Cheerio, the oldest chicken on the farm, what kind of beautiful bird that one that flew into the treetops could possibly be, without missing one beat of normal. Cheerio collected the answer. That is a peacock, forgot? With that, Napoleon sighed. How I wish it was a peacock. With that, Cheerio paused and looked straight into the eyes of the young bird. Why, Napoleon, you are a peacock, forgot? When you were just an egg, you fell out of the peacock that was just high above the chicken coop and popped straight into our chicken nest. We warmed and incubated you, but you are a peacock, forgot? With that, Napoleon did the craziest thing. He wiggled and shook and wiggled and shook when suddenly his tail feathers popped straight into the air. Now, of course, his tail feathers weren't quite as magnificent as the grand old bird's. He was, after all, still just a teenager. He would still need time to grow into his tail feathers. Napoleon realized that he wasn't a chicken after all. He was a beautiful, magnificent peacock. And from then on, he was not going to go along with the rest of the flock. He was going to be who he was created to be. The end.